Director of Evaluation, Mr. Ari Karyono, distinguished guests, dear friends, and colleagues. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And be peace from God Almighty be upon us. We welcome you to our TVD group discussion session today, January 20, 2023, through online media meetings. First of all, let's say thanks to God, who has been giving us guidance, happiness, healthy, and mercy, so we can attend and participate in this event without any obstacles. Before we proceed to our group discussion, let's take a silent moment and pray. Let the prayer begin. Thank you. We hope we all granted with good health. Getting to the next part, without further ado, allow me to introduce our moderator for today, the one who will accompany us through the whole event presentation until question and answer session afterwards. It is an honor to introduce to our moderator. He earned Bachelor of Accounting Economics in Diponegoro University, Semarang, and currently is working for Ministry of Finance as a follower at Directorate of Valuation, DGCEN. Please give a warm welcome our moderator Aditya Wahyu Nugroho.
Thank you, Mas Denny. This is my time, Mas Denny.
Yes, Mas Adit.
Okay. Before I start the discussion, Mbak Maswa say to me that Pak Duja, will give some speech, please, Pak Duja, for the speech. Thank you, Pak Duja.
Thank you, Mas Adit. Thank you, Mas Denny. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam.
Hello, Mas Agung Setiawan. Welcome to DGSAM. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Thank you. In this session, I would like first of all thanks to organizer from Mbak Rizka, Mas Denny, Mas Adit, and all of the organizer of this meeting for inviting me here today. It's great to see you all. Thank you for coming here today. For those of you who don't know me already, I am Pak Duja. I am responsible for the standardization of property valuation. This year, the TVD we have scheduled for a year, and we invite all of the vertical organization, regional office, and KPKNL to make a presentation from January until December. And in this session, the material from Mr. Agung Setiawan is about purchase mapping using unmanned aerial vehicle. I think this material is very interesting. I hope you all can take the best practice from what the speaker say. Take a lot of knowledge about the using of drone because the developing of the valuation is more need using the technology like drone. And I think it is very useful for future. And take a lot of knowledge about the everything from narasumber. And I think it's all. Thank you. Okay, for the next, I will return to the moderator, to Mas Aditya. Okay, thank you.
Ya, thank you Pak Duja, Mas Denny. Thank you for Mas Denny that give me the opportunity to become moderator in this afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. The Honorable Pak Arik, Pak Nafi, Pak Kori, Bu Indri, Pak Walan, Pak Alex, Pak Wawan, Pak Duja, and Mas Agung as speaker, and then all of participants. Yeah, carrying on the next part, I will accompany you through the whole event presentation until Q&A session afterwards. Yeah. And then, ladies and gentlemen, our speaker today is Mas Agung Setiawan, ya. Mas Agung Setiawan. Good afternoon, Mas Agung.
Good afternoon, Mas Adit.
Yeah, we might call him Mas Agung, ya. Currently, he is a young researcher at National Research and Innovation Agency. We know as BRIN, or Badan Riset dan Inovasi Nasional. He earned Master of Geodesy and Geomatics Engineering and Bachelor of Geodesy Engineering. Yeah, and now he has work experiences in Geospatial Information Agency. We know as Badan Informasi Geospasial from 2014 to 2021. And currently he is working at the National Research and Innovation Agency, or BRIN. And then there are many research he conducted from 2015 until now. The last research publication is in 2021 with the title is Quality Control in GNSS Reflectometry Method for Tide Observations, which is published in 2021 at Telkommunika Journal, volume 19, number 6. Before the presentation start, let me tell you how the presentation will go. First, Mas Agung will be invited to present the material. After that, there will be a Q&A session, followed by a conclusion in the end. All of participants may ask directly by raising hand, or can write your question on chat column, yeah, in this Zoom meeting. Now allow me to welcome the speaker to make his presentation about precise mapping using unmanned aerial vehicle or drone. Mas Agung, please welcome to deliver the material.
Okay, thank you very much, Mas Adit, Pak Duja, and all of the team in the forum. Halo, Mas Adit.
Ya, Mas Agung.
My screen is freeze. You can see in the presentation.
In my computer can, oh ya, ya, now is clearly, Mas. Please go on, Mas Agung.
Okay, thank you very much. In this time, I will share about precise mapping using unmanned aerial vehicle. My name is Agung Setiawan. Thanks to Mr. Adit for inviting me to this event. This event is held by Directorate General of State Asset Management. Okay, I will next. Okay, Mas Adit has to presented introduce myself. I am at BRIN, Center for Geospatial. My position is associate researcher, or in bahasa peneliti ahli muda. My research interests all about GNSS and UAV data processing. We can see in the table. In this afternoon, the outline presentation. First, introduction. We will discuss about why to use UAV. So in the second, we will discuss about acquisition parameter using UAV. And then third, we will discuss output of unmanned aerial vehicle, or some people call it drone. And the last, we will discuss about precise mapping using UAV. Okay. The use of UAV or unmanned aerial vehicle for mapping is currently increasing popular with the development of drone and camera technology. There are two types of drone. First, drone using wings, and in the right hand, drone using multi-rotor. The development of drone and camera in line with increasing the UAV on the mapping. Drone fixed wing equipped with wings and single motor. We can see in the picture. In contrast, multi-rotor use minimum 4 rotor to able to fly. UAV and non-metric camera can produce a more detailed view of the Earth's surface with very good resolution. In the picture, we can identify the object like plant or building. And then in addition to spatial resolution, positional accuracy is also required. So ground control points are required to georeference each photo. We can detect and identify the object very easy using the drone result. Next section, acquisition parameter. This is flowchart. UAV acquisition flowchart. First, we define area of interest. Area of interest is the area we'll be mapping, and then we can calculate flag planning. Next, we use aerial image acquisition to take some picture for the area of interest. And then next step is GCP and ICP measurement. GCP is ground control point and ICP is independent checkpoint. Ground control point to build the model, and independent checkpoint used to validation the result of drone. And then next step, we use aerial photo processing software to automatic image processing. Next step, we collect GCP, ground control point, and then we can build a point cloud to generate them. Next step, we can calculate 3D surface model reconstruction. The last step is we can build orthomosaic from the dam and photos. Drone refer to aerodynamic concept. So most of the aerodynamic property of quadcopter are affected by the rotor, set of nature, and power efficiency. We can see in the picture an increase in the speed of fluid occur simultaneously with the decrease in pressure or a decrease in the fluid potential energy. Low speed in the bottom of wing, then increase pressure. When air move faster, air pressure decrease, so the pressure at the top of the wing is less than the pressure at the bottom of the wing. The difference in pressure create a force on the wings that lift the wing into the air. This is the fixed wing type, and this is multi-rotor type. Multi-rotor have propeller like this. Propeller provide force by spinning and creating an airflow. If the propeller rotate in the same direction, then the drone will spin and not fly up the sky. So we must the rotor rotate clockwise and the other rotate counterclockwise. Quadrotor has 4 motor, minimum 4 motor, each of which can move simultaneously or not. If you want a transfer from one point to another, you need a speed differential on a quadrotor motor. The working principle of the quadrotor movement is based on the motor speed of each side. If you want to move to the right, so the right lane decrease the speed, and then the propeller provide force by spinning and creating airflow. If the propeller in the same direction, the drone will spin and not fly up to the sky. This is acquisition data. This is base from GNSS measurement, and then this is GCS team atau or ground control segment, and then in the right picture, ground control point, we and then before the drone fly, we must flight preparation. GCS in charge of monitoring UAV movement, and Premac is signed in the field used in the control point process. Acquisition method in UAV, there are two model to acquisition in UAV. First, nadir looking. The camera axis is perpendicular to the object being captured. So we can collect the picture from the object, and then oblique looking, the camera axis is at an angle to the object being captured. Drone are passive remote sensing. So what you see is what you get. If there is an object that is not taken, then the tie point will not be formed. The result will be blank. The advantage from oblique looking is the object below will be visible, and this advantage is more time is needed for acquisition data. In nadir looking, the object below will be not visible, but advantage is efficient time for acquisition data. Geometry of aerial photo. This is ground sampling distance. GSD is the distance between pixel center measured on the ground. The size of the real world captured by a pixel in a digital image. GSD is based on the flight altitude and camera parameter. If the flight altitude increase, then the GSD will decrease. This is a sample for takeoff and landing in drone. Conventional takeoff and landing, we need use runway. We need runway for takeoff and landing. This is a sample for hand launch or catapult launch. And then for the landing, usually we landing using belly landing or parachute landing. So in the modern era, we prepare with vertical takeoff and landing, or call it with VTOL. VTOL is one that can take off and landing vertically without relying on a runway. Drone use a quadrotor to process the aircraft up and down. This is a rotor or propeller to process vertical and takeoff and landing. And then when the aircraft to the sky, the propeller switch off and the propeller in the aircraft turn off to the next mission. This is a sample for the control point measurement. We usually use the GNSS geodetic for the control point measurement. Control point measure using GNSS geodetic type with dual frequency signal. We can detect the object and then pricking the object in the Agisoft MetaSafe. Control point identification process. After we collect data in the field, we do it GCP point pricking in the software. Output of UAV. Next section. There are two output of UAV. First, we can result orthophoto or orthomosaic with high resolution imagery. And then we get output digital elevation model. For the output, we can identify object. And then we can time series analysis, or we can analysis boundary determination. From digital elevation model, we can build 3D modeling, and then we can build contour and calculate the volume. This is a sample output of UAV. In the left picture, aerial photo map, and we can identify the object very clear, very easy using the output of UAV. We can analysis land use classification, and then we can get contour map from the output of UAV data. This is output of UAV. We can identification vegetation and segmentation using UAV product. In this example, I identification oil palm in the Kalimantan. So from the high resolution photo, we can detect very easy oil palm in the area. This is a digital surface model. We can describe Earth surface, and then we can build 3D modeling for not detailed construction. This is my old area working. This is BIG area. From data DEM, we can get the model of this digital surface model. This is a result from area Pakansari International Stadium in Cibinong. And the last, this is example for 3D modeling in BRIN Cibinong. We can detect object or 3D modeling using photo from UAV. Next section about precise mapping using UAV. Some people confuse with resolution and accuracy. Resolution is measure all of the smallest object that can be resolved by the sensor. If we zoom in until image is blurred, then it's called pixel. Resolution same with pixel size. So different. Accuracy is the quantifiable value that represent the positional difference between orthomosaic result and Earth surface. Spatial accuracy of orthomosaic is measured against checkpoint. Accuracy related with positional accurate from the object. Next, why GCP is important? In the blue line, we can digitize the object of building. Blue line is not GCP process. So there are different about there are different non-GCP and GCP process. The object shape of building is the same, but the location of the building different. Accuracy is very related on the map output. If you just want to see land use land cover, orthomosaic without GCP is enough. So the different range approximate 2 meter until 7 meter. But the shape of a building same, only translation from one position to position other. If you need an accuracy test for UAV, please come to Cibinong. I have more control point in the area of Cibinong. Okay, thank you very much. I return to the moderator. Please, Mr. Adit.
Yeah, Mas Agung, thank you very much for giving such an informative and outstanding presentation, Mas. Mas Agung has explained about drones, type of drone, multi-rotor with multi-rotor, there is wing, there is VTOL technology, and then how do drones work, and then they're used in mapping and 3D models. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to the next session, which is discussion or time for question and answer question. I would like to have 2 questions first from the participants. Please don't be shy or hesitate to ask. Yeah. Okay. First, maybe there is question from Mr. Haddad Hussein Lubis ya in column chat ya. Mr. Haddad say that what kind of shock that the drone may absorb when the flight pattern change in contraverse direction. Maybe the meaning is impulse absorption. Mr. Haddad, can you directly ask to Mas Agung? I give a chance. Please, Mr. Haddad.
Okay, sir. I mean, if how to say, when you get it by like that, then you change the direction suddenly like that. How could you change the direction in accounting of what the different velocity like that and different direction like in impulse like that, the change of momentum, is that may damage the drone, or what other effect like that? What is the effect of, is there any significant effect or no like that?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Haddad. Maybe we save the question, and then maybe Mas Gumilang Wicaksono ya. Please, time is yours, Mas Gumilang.
Okay, thank you, Mas Adit. Nice to meet you, Mas Agung. I have several questions. The first about drone control and internal control point. This technology relate are the depend on cellular transceiver ya, as BTS or satellite, or just directly connected with device and the remote control. And the second, are there any way or any security issue like UAV drone hacking? There is possibilities to hack or interventing drone if it's on airborne or on the fly. That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you, Mas Gumilang and Mas Haddad. Maybe, please, Mas Agung. First, you can answer the Mr. Haddad question, and then Mr. Gumilang question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mas Adit. First question. The rotor is controlled from flight control. So if the air wind from the side or for the right, the propeller can stabilize speed. So the drone we can stabilize. In multi-rotor 2, the camera equipped with gimbal, so the error from the air wind can be minimized like this, Mas Adit.
Yeah, thank you, Mas Agung. Is the explanation is clear enough, Mas Pak Haddad ya?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, and then maybe Mas Agung, you can explain the answer Mas Gumilang question ya about ground control point and the technology, and then about security issues.
Okay, thank you, Mas Adit. For Mas Gumilang question. GCP or ground control point measure from GNSS or global navigation satellite system. So we use the GPS geodetic to record the satellite like GPS from America or GLONASS from Russia. We record data observation from satellite, and then we processing to get a position on the field. And the last question about security. Sorry, please repeat me again, Mr. Adit.
About the security issue, any possibilities to interference the drone if they are fly or on airborne, Mr. Agung? Hijacking or hacking the drone?
Drone using specific frequency, so we can jamming in the terminology is jamming. We can very easy to jamming, but but very difficult to jamming frequency in the drone. So for the security, we can fly to the area with not restricted area. Maybe like this, Mr. Gumilang.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Maybe one question, Mr. Adit.
Okay. Go ahead, Mas Gumilang.
About 3D modeling, as Mr. Agung described, called volume. Volume is meter cubic or square meter. Maybe it like describe on population on palm tree. It's volumetric or coverage area. Per area ya. Jadi dari meter kubik atau meter perseginya yang bisa diukur terkait dengan coverage 3D-nya tadi. Terima kasih.
Nah, enak bahasa Indonesia aja ini.
Mas Gumilang, please English.
Pardon me, Mr. Adit.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gumilang. Volumetric is calculate in the meter cubic, in the meter cubic, or we can replace with the another unit if the area is calculated very clear. So usually drone result in meter cubic from the DSM or digital surface model result.
Okay, very clear, Mr. Agung. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mas Agung, Mas Gumilang, and Mas Sadar ya. Any question? I call you. Okay, first Mas Dani ya. I will take 2 questions. First, Mas Dani. Go ahead, Mas Dani.
Can I get the second one, Mas? Not first. Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Mas Agung.
Good afternoon, Mas
Okay,
Dani.
I'd like to ask you about a few questions maybe. I say that Brin use fixed wing and VTOL type for the mapping. How about multi-rotor type? Did Brin use this type too? And what do you think about the ketiga model? This three of type: drone, multirotor, fixed wing, and VTOL. What do you think is the most recommended to use for mapping? That the first question. I have four. I have four questions related with the first one. We have Directorate Evaluation have one type of drone which we use the multirotor type, Phantom and Mavic. And Mavic, Phantom 4th generation and Mavic 2nd generation. Can these two drone we can use it for mapping? And what the level of precision can we get if we use this drone, this Phantom 4th generation and Mavic 2nd generation? That's number 2. And we're going to number 3. Do fixed wing and VTOL type drones also have gimbal stabilizer like multirotor type for that can be able to balance the camera in the event of shaking when it flying? Bagaimana bahasa Indonesianya, Mas? Dia akan menahan guncangan pada saat dia terbang. Apakah that the VTOL and fixed wing have the gimbal like the multirotor one, multirotor type, or it doesn't have? And the last question is, how much accuracy is the mapping for the mapping when we use drone in terms of not using GCP compared when we use GCP? Okay, that's it. Thank you, Mas Agung.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mas Dhani ya. Maybe Mas Agung can answer because Mas Dhani have 4 questions. A lot of questions nih Mas Dhani. Mas Dhani asked about Brin use fixed wing or multirotor and what is better ya. And then about precision in Phantom generation. Thought about fixed wing and VTOL drone also have gimbal. How can it be stabilized ya? And last about how much accuracy in GCP and without GCP. Please Mas Agung for the answer.
Okay, thank you. Brin doesn't have a drone, Mr. Mas Dhani. Drone have BIG. So we usually using the BIG drone, Geospatial Information Agency. Why using multirotor or fixed wing? So multirotor usually for small area. Multirotor very easy to use and then very efficient. And then multirotor easy to take off and landing. This is advantage to multirotor. So different in contrast, the fixed wing advantage is very efficient because long endurance, because fixed wing using aerodynamic concept, so we can minimize the power consumption. For the large area, we recommended using fixed wing drone. And then the another question,
Precision in phantom
gimbal,
command.
about gimbal ya.
Oh, okay, gimbal. Third
Okay,
question.
in the fixed wing, not equipped with gimbal, Mas Dani. Only in the multi-rotor equipped with gimbal, because usually fixed wing using GNSS antenna in the aircraft to get position each photo. So we can calculate the orientation error or orientation internal parameter to get omega p kappa. Omega p kappa, like the result from photo, because error maksudnya goncangan kena angin dari kanan dan kiri gitu.
Turbulence ya, Mas.
Turbulence, ya. Okay, next question. Asadit, next question about
Next question about accuracy in GCP and without GCP, Mas.
Oh, okay. I will present my result. Wait, Mas Adit. So is it seen, Mas Adit?
Yeah, simply.
Yes, Mas.
I'm sorry, the presentation in Bahasa. This is a result from the flag no GCP. The accuracy of horizontal accuracy is 4 meter.
I'm sorry, Mas Agung. You can maximize the display, Mas Agung.
Oh, okay. Is it seen, Mas?
Clearly, Mas.
But sometimes we get until 30 meter. We use regulation in Indonesia about this is about topographic base map from BIG. So different GCP or not GCP in the product result. Mana ya? Sebentar. No GCP, we can get the medium accuracy, sometimes 4 meter, sometimes 14 meter. And while use the GCP, we can get the accuracy of less than 1 meter. Like this, Mas.
Okay, thank you, Mas Agung. Is it clearly, Mas Dani?
Mas Agung didn't answer my second question, Mas.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
about
second
we have
question,
multi-rotor Phantom
Oh,
generation and Mavic. Can we use this for mapping? And what level of precision can we get if we use these drones?
okay, thank you, Mas. DJI Phantom and Mavic use non-metric camera. Non-metric camera is non-metric camera is main difference between metric camera is that the internal orientation calibration parameter. So metric camera are camera with complete parameter calibration from factory. When we use camera non-metric, we might find some area are wider than other. This is distortion, Mas. Distortion in mapping make quality of orthophoto decrease. So error from distortion must be removed. Distortion must be removed with GCP process. DJI Phantom and Mavic use non-metric camera. Therefore, we must carry out the GCP process to eliminate distortion error. The GCP process is carried out if the resulting product meet the scale of 5,000 and 1,000, or the desired accuracy is less than 1 meter. So, drone application in Directorate General of State Asset are only used to identify object, not to make base map. So we can ignore the accuracy of the object position. Mas Dani.
Okay, Mas Agung, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mas Agung. Thank you, Mas Dani. I hope the explanation is clear enough. Maybe I will open to questions again. Please, Pak Duja, you can directly ask to Mas Agung.
Okay, thank you, Mas Agung, for your presentation. I think my question is simple. How you operate the drone so far related to bot permission? I think according to the rules, if we use drone for film or from mapping, do we need a permit? Do we need a permission? Or we have to pay some fee for the owner of object? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Pak Duja. Any question? If there's no question, maybe Mas Agung, you can directly answer Pak Duja question.
Okay,
Please, Mas Agung. Yeah, about permission, Mas.
Okay, thank you, Pak Duja. In the drone, because drone is very dangerous to aircraft or man aerial vehicle. So we should be allowed to fly restriction in the all area, Pak. But usually we we make we take izin terbang usually in area near airport, because very dangerous if the drone crash with a helicopter or plane. But in the area like the oil palm plantation, usually saya jarang izin gitu, jarang izin Pak. Only in the restricted area we propose the apa namanya izin terbang, permit to security clearance. They call security clearance. Usually, security clearance from Airnav or from Kementerian Perhubungan. And the high altitude now is 120 above 120 we must permit to the Kementerian Perhubungan and Airnav to get a NOTAM, notice to airmen, apa ya NOTAM singkatannya lupa saya. NOTAM, notice to airmen. Oke, Pak Duja.
Okay. Can I elaborate the question, Mas Adit?
Yeah, please, Pak Duja.
Okay, thank you, Mas Agung. My question is more related to cost. When we are at the tourist spot, there is a rule that we have to pay 5 million to take a video. Like in Raja Ampat last year, we go to Raja Ampat and there is a rule that we have to pay 5 million to take a video. I think it is related to commercial objective. So what you did so far? Thank you.
Saya Mbak. Sometimes to smooth project we must pay some rupiah to the apa ya, bisa dibilang ke oknum because there are oknum. Sebenarnya nggak ada sih Pak itunya, membayar itu nggak ada, tapi kadang oknum sih sebenarnya seperti itu.
Okay, thank you, Mas Agung, for the explanation. That's clear. Thank you.
You're welcome, Pak.
Okay, thank you, Pak Duja and Mas Agung. Oh, there is Mbak Cindy raise hand ya. Maybe one question again from Mbak Cindy. Please open the camera, Mbak Cindy.
I'm sorry for this inconvenience. I think I can't open my cam because I need to wear my hijab. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Mbak Cindy.
I have a question from Mas Agung. Actually, we already wait for Mas Agung since last year. So maybe the first question is, what is the difference between non-metric camera and metric camera in your introduction part material? And the second question is, I think how far can a drone fly from the controller? And is there maybe some other way to increase your drone's range? And did you ever get it lost from your control? Maybe that's it, Mas Adit. Thank you.
Ya, thank you Mbak Cindy. About apa namanya? About metric and non-parametric camera, and then how long remote and drone can be reached. Please, Mas Agung.
Okay, thank you, Mas. Maybe I just clear different about non-metric camera and metric camera. Metric camera, camera with complete or full parameter calibration, like focal length, coordinate of the main point, and lens distortion. When we use camera non-metric, we might find some area are wider than other. So the error from distortion must be removed. In the camera metric, focal length, coordinate of the main point, and lens distortion already known, like this. Okay, and the next question, all about telemetry. Yeah, Mas tadi ya. The distance
Mas Agung,
on
about,
how
I'm sorry, Mas Agung.
Yeah.
It's about distance between remote and drone can be reached, Mas.
Oh yeah.
How long? How long?
How long ya? How long?
1
The
kilometer.
distance usually depend on how frequency radio is used. So approximate 2 until 3 kilometers from the remote in the ground and the aircraft. When the signal loss, the drone can continue the mission. When the drone find the error, and then drone back to home to the coordinate in the remote in the ground, like this, Mas.
And then last question, Mas, about is there some other way to increase the drone range, Mas, from normal condition, Mas? Maybe use repeater or such. Yeah, maybe we can increase the range with repeater.
We yeah, okay. We can use the repeater, or we can increase the frequency radio to connect remote to the aircraft. So we can, but in usually in fixed wing, in multi-rotor, when the aircraft lost, so we can contact the aircraft. Seldom I meet the multi-rotor using the repeater, Mas Adit.
Okay, thank you, Mas Agung. It is clear, Mbak Cindy?
Yes, thank you so much, Pak Agung, Mas Adit.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? If there's no question again, maybe I would like to ask you, Mas Agung, it for make sure, make sure. Do the accuracy for mapping and the accuracy for measuring the dimension, accuracy for mapping and the accuracy for measuring dimension has the same result for the same drone. And is it possible to use drone for dimensional measurement, Mas? Because maybe it will be used in our directorate. Thank you, Mas.
Okay, thank you, Mas Adit. Result of drone related much factor like environment, camera use. So for the base mapping, we use regulation from BIG to calculate the accuracy of product. Usually the drone must use the GCP process because the accuracy position of object in less than 1 meter, Mas. For the your aim in the directorate, I think no problem when we not include GCP process because from the result in the building of BRIN, like the presentation is seen, the result of 3D modeling so far the result is good with root mean square error less than 1 meter or approximate 20 centimeter like this, Mas. So in your application, I think the GCP process can be neglected, Mas. Bisa diabaikan.
Okay, thank you, Mas Agung, for the answer. Ladies and gentlemen, because there's no question again, finally we come to the end of this group discussion. Maybe before closing the discussion, I want to draw conclusions from what the speaker delivered. First, drone mapping using a non-metric camera is heavily influenced by distortion error and the position of camera. Therefore, it requires GCP to improve the product positioning accuracy. And second, however, the use of GCP is closely related to the final product to be produced. For just visualization analysis, GCP is no longer important. GCP is used for applications that require accuracy of object position below 1 meter. And the last, drones can be used as a dimension measurement tool. Okay, I would like to thank you, Mr. Agung, as the speaker who has given your informative and interesting presentation. And thank you for all the participants for your very active participation. Hopefully the presentation will give benefit for us. And finally, let's give applause to Mas Agung.
Thank you, Mas.
Yeah, and all of you. And the last, sorry if I am not good enough to be a moderator in this afternoon. Now I give it back to the MC, Mas Denny. Thank you, Mas Denny, Mas Agung.
You are welcome, Mas.
I'm sorry, Mas Denny, your sound is not clear, Mas Denny.
The discussion session regarding precise mapping using unmanned aerial vehicle has ended. All participants have gathered in the main room. Isn't the discussion fun? And certainly it is. Dear friends and colleagues, as the question and answer session comes to an end, it marks the end of our group discussion for today. It has surely been a delighted moment for us, as we can enrich our knowledge related to precise mapping using unmanned aerial vehicle. On behalf of all the committee and all colleagues behind the screen, we would like to thank to the speaker, Mr. Admi Setiawan, and moderator, Mr. Aditya Wahyu Nugroho, Mr. Batu Duja, and the participation of all members who have been very enthusiastic to the whole event. Honorable friends and colleagues, with this concludes the whole event for today. We do apologize if there is any mistake or something that make uncomfortable during this session. We're looking forward to see you in the future event. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'm Denny Arianto signing off. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Denny,
Mas Agung.
Mr. Agung, and Mr. Adit.
Adit.
Thank you, thank you.
Pak.
Thank you, Mas Agung, dan thank you for all.
Thank you, Mas Agung, Mas
Bagus,
Denny.
Mohon izin, Le.
Congrats, Mas Denny.
Mohon izin live, Mas Adit.
Ya, makasih Mas Agung. Kita nanti
Jadi kita tunggu di Cibinong loh.
Iya Mas, nanti kita
Kita lanjutkan yang itu kan. Oke, sip-sip. Ya Mas, Assalamualaikum semuanya.
Waalaikumsalam.